snow falls like ash over the Ural Mountains, frozen, silent, unforgiving. 9 young hikers vanish into the night, found days later, mutilated, barefoot in sub-zero temperatures. Their tent slashed open from the inside. Their bodies scattered, some missing eyes, one missing her tongue. Their skin glowed with radiation. No one saw the scene would speak of it without shaking. And those who investigated, many are now dead or have disappeared. This is not just a mystery. This is a wound in reality. A gaping tear between what we know and what waits beyond the veil. This is the Dyatlov Pass incident, and something was out there with them. In January of 1959, 10 Soviet students from the Ural Polytechnic Institute embarked on a challenging ski expedition through the northern Ural Mountains. Led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, the group was smart, experienced, and physically fit. All were seasoned hikers. All had done trips like this before. But one member, Yuri Yudin, fell ill early on and turned back. He would be the only survivor. The remaining 9, 7 men and 2 women, continued into the mountains. What they didn't know was that they had entered a place that the native Mansi tribespeople avoided. They called it Kholat Syakhl, the Mountain of the Dead. By February 1st, the group pitched their tent on the slope of that cursed mountain. The temperature was negative 30 degrees Celsius and visibility was low. But instead of finding shelter in the nearby woods, they camped out in the open. Why? That remains unexplained. Sometime in the night, something happened. They fled, barefoot, nearly naked into the snow. Some ran, some crawled, some never moved again. The investigation would find the tent was slashed from the inside. No signs of struggle or outside presence. 3 died of hypothermia. Others had blunt force trauma, like car crash injuries. One had her tongue ripped out. Some had strange orange hands and hair that had turned gray, and also traces of radiation on their clothing. Their faces were twisted in agony. Some had clenched fists full of their own skin. Others stared upward, as if they had seen something they couldn't comprehend. Investigators were baffled. Military officials sealed records. Witnesses were silenced. The area was declared off limits for years. But strange reports leaked out. A group of hikers 50 kilometers away south claimed that they saw glowing orange spheres floating over mountains the same night. Locals reported a loud humming sound that shook their cabins. Massive inhuman tracks were discovered in the snow, far larger than any man's. A secret Mansi legend speaks of a demon that lives inside the mountain, only surfacing during storms to feed. This wasn't just cold and wind. This was something alive and ancient. Over the years, theories have tried to explain the incident. Avalanche, but no evidence of snow displacement. Katabatic winds, doesn't explain injuries or radiation. Military testing, possible. Locals reported strange booms, and the hikers may have stumbled upon something secret. Infrasound-induced panic, a theory that vibrations caused hallucinations and disorientation. But can that tear out tongues? Then the darker theories emerged. UFO encounter, interdimensional rift, ancient being awakened beneath the ice. One investigator reportedly went mad while reviewing the scene photos, muttering, "They weren't killed, they were removed." The mountain was never truly quiet again. In 2008, a group retraced the route. Their GPS malfunctioned for hours. Compasses spun wildly. They heard voices in the wind. One reported seeing a tall, faceless silhouette watching from a ridge. Another hiker's camera was found destroyed, yet its SD card survived. On it, blurry images of the tent, a bright light, and then a shape, almost human, but stretched, distorted. More disappearances have been reported, and local reindeer herders refuse to go near the site after sunset. Some claim the earth is scarred there, and that it calls to people, pulling them in. In 1990, a former KGB archivist leaked pages from what he called the Dark Events file. It referenced the Dyatlov case. Phrases like non-human entity disruption, force beyond comprehension, mutations consistent with proximity exposure. The file was quickly scrubbed. The archivist, dead within a month, apparent suicide. One photo that survived showed a hiker's body, face frozen in horror. But behind him, a figure in the snow, barely visible. It has no features, no face, but it casts a shadow. It watches. There are no towns near Dyatlov Pass, just snow, rock, and silence. But every few years, someone tries to find answers, and sometimes they don't come back. Local legend says the mountain opens its gates once every 13 years, and when it does, it demands a price. In 2022, a lone climber was found near the site, alive, but barely, naked, frostbitten, muttering in broken Russian. They sang to me from beneath the ice, and I followed. He died that night. His last words, "It's awake now." Whatever happened on that mountain, it wasn't natural. It wasn't an accident, and it wasn't meant to be understood. There are places in this world where we were never meant to go, doors we were never meant to open, and cold, forgotten gods buried beneath ancient peaks that are starting to stir. So if you ever hear the wind call your name in the snow, don't follow it. Because some mysteries aren't meant to be solved, they're meant to be feared. And Dyatlov Pass was just never a pass, it was a warning. If this tale chilled you to the bone, like, subscribe, share, and remember, some stories are true, even the ones they try to bury under the snow. Thank you, and have a great night.